Akira is a boy who often skips school. Akira is sitting at home texting with his opponent in the game. Just thinking it would be an easy win, the opponent suddenly disconnected to cancel the result. After thinking for a while, he decided to go to school. Standing on the side of the road, waiting for the light to turn green, a car came. Stepping out of the car, a tall man had bandages wrapped all over his body. Exactly 5 seconds later, he rushed to attack Akira, causing him to only have time to throw his phone aside to avoid the attack. There was a bicycle nearby, which Akira took to ride. Even though the other guy was chasing him, Akira found a very easy solution. Akira imagined himself in a game with the other guy. He lured the big guy to an abandoned building. After fighting for a while, he successfully defeated the big guy by putting the iron bar through his body. While enjoying the moment of victory, a girl with cat ears walked up and said that this was a must-lose game, and Akira died immediately afterwards. After being treated, Akira found himself in a large room with his hands cuffed. The cat from earlier appeared, introduced herself as Mayan, and announced that they would all be superpowered test subjects for a secret project. While explaining the rules, someone stood up to protest and Mayan turned his hand into a cannon. As far as we know, each person in the room has been given a special ability and can only be used when the handcuffs are unlocked. Akira was then taken to his private room, where he would learn information about his abilities. After looking at the paper describing his abilities, he frowned in confusion. Probably a useless ability. A moment later, the first show of duels began. Akira was taken to a classroom where his rival Kiri was waiting. Kiri advised Akira to surrender because his ability was very formidable and Akira would have no chance of winning. There are 5 seconds left in the countdown to start the match. After the bracelet was unlocked, Kiri rushed to Akira and activated the ability to turn the tree branch in his hand into a sword. Akira threw countless nearby objects at Kiri, but his sword easily cut everything in half. Knowing that a direct attack wouldn't stop him, Akira threw a blind spell to escape to another room. After a while of attacking, Kiri wondered why Akira didn't use his ability to counterattack and thought that his ability was useless. At this point, Akira appeared and explained that he did not want to use his ability because it was dangerous. Akira told Kiri to remember Mayan's ability. Kiri immediately rushed forward, and the moment he remembered the cannon, Akira activated his ability and blew Kiri away. Kiri immediately surrendered because he was no longer able to fight. Akira's true ability is revealed to be the ability to manipulate psychology to possess that weapon. At the same time, female student Yuri was lying in her private room, contemplating her past before being brought here. She is a normal high school girl but is unlucky enough to be stalked by a perverted male student. When she got home, her mother introduced a strange man who had a child of his own and would start living in the same house with her and force her to take care of the child. Because she was upset about family matters, she immediately left the house and met a pervert stalking her who was about to jump off the building. Yuri ran up to convince him to calm down and he took her with him and jumped down. Yuri suddenly woke up in her private room in reality and learned that her ability was to increase her body's strength 5 times. At the same time, her opponent was decided, so she was brought to the arena. In front of Yuri was an uncle. Just looking at him, you can see how dirty he is. After the start signal, he came to do something depraved and immediately took a kick from Yuri. But perhaps she still restrained her power, so he was still unharmed. Knowing that the opponent possessed strong abilities, he decided to play dirty games. He easily locked Yuri's neck. After hearing the nonsense about his debauchery, Yuri was now determined not to hold back any longer, so he gave him a strong blow, sending him flying away and ending his life as a trash. Returning to Akira after winning the battle, he was taken back to his room. While relaxing, the second program began. He was moved into a larger room, where 4 other people were already waiting. The second program is a team match of 5 people and will take place for another 2 hours. Everyone was shocked about strangers suddenly becoming teammates. An uncle stood up to connect everyone together. To facilitate strategy discussion, the uncle revealed his own ability to turn shirt buttons into rope. Next, the remaining people revealed their abilities, including Yuri with the power to multiply 5 times, Kiri with the ability to turn trees into swords, and the wrestler Kuma with the ability to be invincible for 2 seconds, but he declared that he would not use it. As for Akira, he did not reveal his true ability because he did not trust everyone there. Akira announced his ability as a cannon, making everyone admire. Next is the performance of each person's abilities. Akira wanted to thoroughly test Yuri's abilities, so he asked her to jump in place to measure her strength. Because she was wearing a short skirt, she was exposed. 4 men were beaten by Yuri. On the way to the ring, we were all discussing when Uncle Shawa spoke up and told everyone to kill their opponent if they had the chance. Because when falling into a life or death situation, an honest person can also turn into a murderer. Entered the ring and the announced rule was that pairs of 2 members from each team would fight each other. First between Uncle Shawa and Ian of the opposing team. After the starting signal was given, Ian immediately asked Shawa to surrender because he did not want to fight. Shawa of course did not agree, but his uncle's ability was too useless, so the 2 sides played a bargaining game. Behind the cloak, Ian was forced to take it off to reveal an embarrassing sight. But Shawa did not like girls, so he lied that his ability was very strong to drag his opponent into the coin toss. Seeing that his opponent also agreed, he immediately tossed the coin. At that moment, the thorns pierced him somewhere. The first match ended with Ian winning. Losing a match without knowing their opponent's abilities caused Akira's team to fight internally, forcing Akira to come out and make peace. The second match is between Kuma and the bookish schoolgirl Ringo. Shawa's death is a lesson for underestimating opponents, so Kuma decided to go all in from the beginning. As soon as the starting signal was given, he rushed forward with an unstoppable force to knock Ringo out of the ring. Ringo surrendered immediately, surprising both teams. Leaving the ring, Ringo revealed his ability to copy his opponent's abilities. But just now she couldn't copy Kuma. The third match begins shortly after with Kiri facing Sako. He thought he had won, but after the whistle sounded, Sako immediately threw the iron ball at his opponent. After Kiri knocked the marble in another direction, it enlarged many times. Because he knew the opponent's ability, Kiri activated the ability to transform into a sword. Kiri gradually approached and cut each giant ball in half, making Sako quite scared. It was thought that victory had been decided when the sword was close to Sako's neck. But because he underestimated his opponent, right at his feet was a small marble. The marble enlarges and Kiri loses. The next match is between Akira and Kochi. Akira must win this match to keep his hope of final victory. After the handcuffs were unlocked, Akira turned to talk to Kiri about the ridiculous loss earlier. But Akira's real purpose is to use Kiri to activate his cannon ability. After the cannon was activated, Akira fired at Kiri, causing both sides to panic. Akira immediately turned to fire at Kochi, but the bullet was neutralized by Kochi's ability. After 2 shots, Akira realized his opponent's ability to touch the ground with his right hand to negate another person's ability. Kochi's teammates encouraged Kochi with the service of 2 girls. While distracted, Akira threw a shoe at Kochi's face, causing him to be slightly stunned, and Akira approached. Kochi had no choice but to surrender because he could not activate his ability in time before Akira fired. The final match has come for Yuri. And her opponent is the pervert who stalked her in the past. He is confident in his ability to withstand attacks, but his abilities have no effect against Yuri's abilities. After 1 punch, Mayan appeared announcing the final victory for Team Akira, and the reward was a sumptuous party. After the party, the third program also started and everyone had to say goodbye.